Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is coming to Legends, and if you were saving, it's gonna look very rough because this guy's kit looks amazing. Insane, I might add. You want to know whether you should summon or skip for this guy, and I'm gonna give you everything you need to know. I'll give you some things to consider before even anything. I'll break down his kit real quick, and then I'll give you my opinion on whether I think it's worth it for you guys to summon, and also if I'm going to be summoning, as I know a lot of you guys look for that information. Let's get into this. So before you get into anything, here are some things that you should consider. The first thing you've got is the amount of chrono crystals you have. Ultra banners are not friendly in the slightest, and if you have a little bit, it might not even be worth it to go in. Also considering the fact that there's no guarantees when it comes to summoning on an ultra banner. In that same sentence, I will also add though, if you don't summon, you will never know. So the risk has to be taken if you like this unit. But following that up, I will mainly say, and this is my main bit of advice, you don't need to summon straight away. The unit's animations look good, and if you're a collector, this whole video is void for you and you would just summon anyways. But if you care about what they do, I advise that you just wait a couple days, as there's showcases you can watch, and you can also let everybody in PvP that will summon regardless take the fall for you. There will be opinions, there will be people using him, and if nobody's using him, you will know he's not good and you will know you can save your chrono crystals. So waiting is in your favor. This banner is here from the 27th of August up until the 13th of September. So you have quite a bit of time, not too much, but enough to the point where you can decide later rather than earlier. And I want to also finalize this video on something I'm going to start saying going forward. The developers are very tricky, and why I say that is because the stats is something we don't get until they release on the day. So a lot of the opinions I give in this video could very much so be wrong based on how they manage their stats, and that's something we cannot predict. So we're basing things off of their kit, which is why I advise waiting more than anything else, given my opinion is based on previous units we've got and the things that they've added in Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's kit. Just to finalize, you might also want to consider other things that could come out of this campaign. We're starting with an Ultra, so it's very likely we'll get a Legends Limited later down the line, and that might be something you're interested in, especially if it's a Goku. I know a lot of you guys like Gokus. But let's get into the kit breakdown now. Right, so we've got Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's abilities right here. Let's get into it, man. So if we scroll down, we can see that he's an element red. Here are his tags: Vegeta Clan, Saiyan GT, Super Saiyan 4, episodes Shadow Dragon Saga GT. If we go into his Z ability, is GT and Saiyan, only GT and Saiyan. If you are GT specifically, you get extra special move damage from him, which is nice. Blast attack and strike defense, so I'm presuming that he's a range type. Let's go forward into his Ultra ability. We got here, it's obviously going to be GT if he's not on the leader slot to get his full Ultra ability. On the strike arts, he has blast armor and he gets strike damage, so he's going to be snowballing. If you don't know what I mean by snowballing, imagine a snowball rolling down a hill like in the cartoons. It's building up as it keeps going. That's what snowballing means. He's going to be doing that through strikes, building up strike damage. He's going to be doing that through blast, building up blast damage. He's also got a good blue card here. As you can see, it's the long range type because it doesn't say anything about blast armor or anything like that. That's what typically would be. Massive impact damage on activation, unique gauge 10%, special move, and critical rate. Critical is pretty mid, but could be useful in some situations if you're lucky. Also, if unique gauge is release type, so his release gauge is his unique gauge is the time type, it fills up, then it releases. I'll get more into it later, but if his unique gauge is on the release type, that means it's draining, and you press the blue card, you'll get an extra 30% special move damage, and all enemy health restoration will be minus 50%, which is very nice, and that's all off the activation, I believe, which is nice. We got the green card here. It's a grab type, so on activation you get 30 ki, unique gauge fills up, you get damage which cannot stack, so if you have multiple you can't stack that damage, unfortunately. Cancel attribute downgrades in the normal conditions, and if you hit it, so if you grab the person, you draw up to 2 cards if hand has 3 or fewer, and you get cover null for 5 timer counts, and you can combo everything into it. How I know it's the grab type is because it has blast armor when charging forward. The ultimate here, supreme impact damage, that's normal nowadays for ultras. On activation, the ultimate damage is 40%, critical rate 30%, and you nullify endurance. It's not permanent, so that can be cancelled, be worried. Also, if unique gauge is release type, so if it's on the down, you'll be able to get 30% extra ultimate damage, which cannot be cancelled, and you'll go type neutral completely, which can be cancelled, and it's the forward moving type, no long range. You get the blast armor when charging forward. Now in his main ability, he will force a card in, so he's going to destroy one and then draw his ultimate. He gets HP, ki, ally health 20%, so he heals his teammates too, and he's going to cancel ally attribute downgrades into abnormal conditions, and then you're gonna remove 3 Dragon Balls from the enemy, which is actually quite insane. So just bear that in mind, you know. Here we got the star ability, so his stats are looking good. The damage is 300%, damage guard 210%. Now this is crazy because it's more than Metal Cooler just from off rip, like off rip. So he's doing amazing just as a start, right? And that's not even his whole kit yet. He also has endurance, which is quite crazy. So you're gonna see he's gonna be a very powerful unit. But if you think he hasn't got powerful yet, you're gonna see something soon. On battlefield entry, he draws a card, he gets HP, which is actually a lot of HP, 10% every entry. Health restore is gonna be very valuable on him. Key, nullify special cover changes, nullify damage received element disadvantage, destroy 1 card, so this is just type neutral against the damage he takes specifically. Also, if there is a defeated battle member, his unique gauge charge rate will go up 50%, so he'll get to his release type faster. On ally battlefield entry, so once an ally comes in, he will actually get his unique gauge up 5%, which is insane. Next, activate arts damage plus 20%, and this can go up to 100%, which is pretty nice. Here, when you hit by enemy arts, he's gonna get 10% gauge, so he's filling up as he takes damage too. Ally sub count -1, seal enemy card slot 5 counts, this is only 1 time. Activations reset on switch, and all enemy costs will go up by 10 as they're hitting you, which is actually quite insane. Their combo is going to be very difficult to pull off. When on battlefield, an enemy activates a special move, ultimate or awakened arts, or rising rush, the buff cancellation comes in. So he's going to be probably the most annoying unit in the game. He's probably going to be the best unit in the game, right? Buff cancellation and endurance, that's tough. That's very tough. And with the unit that can heal the way he does, he probably won't die. He probably won't die. On allied cover change, HP 5%, damage 20%, 20 timer counts. On switch, attack activation, deal major damage to enemy impact, nullify element disadvantages 3 counts, cancel attribute downgrades, abnormal conditions, ally sub count -2. So if you don't know what this is, in the trailer there was like this brief moment where a teammate, so I believe it was in the video, they use Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I don't think it's always going to be Super Saiyan 4 Goku, it's whatever ally you have. They come in and they can do major damage to the enemy. It might always be Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but that's besides the point. And you can combo into it any single card. So switch attack is the new mechanic that's going to come in. You will see more when it actually releases and how it's going to work. But from the seams of it, Goku flew in, he did a bit of damage, and then Vegeta can come back in after the fact. You do a bit of damage off it, so think of it kind of like prep time gauge or something like that, where you can do the special beam cannon, but it's like mid combo and you can combo anything into it, which is nice. Cover change, he cover changes blast and you can combo only the blue card into it. His unique gauge, so the time type into release type, starts as time type, starts with 40% charge, will not charge while release type, only naturally because it's going down. So time type, while it's a time type here, when unique gauge becomes full, he's going to switch his gauge to release type. He also heals 15%, nullify combo breaking actions, so I believe that's just everything because it would say cover change specifically. So it's like any counters, he's gonna stop that. Protect hand, sub counts -5, and switch attacks available +1, so you'll be able to get that big damage. But then when it's release type and it's going down, for every arts card that you use, well, when you use a card, you will actually drain it, which I'll get into later. But you draw a card when it's release type, key plus 30%, vanish gauge plus 30%, and damage plus 20%. So that's for each card that you use. And when unique gauge reaches 0%, switch to time type. And to build up the time type gauge, there was a few things in the kit. For example, I believe the green card, but there's other things as well. But you'll gradually fill it just while he's alive. And to release it, you press cards, you know, decrease consumed very slowly by 30% on strike or blast arts use, and you get benefits from using certain cards while it's at the release type. So that's his kit, and as you can see, he's quite insane. Now the big question, should you summon for Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta? In my opinion, he looks like a must summon. I'm not going to lie, I've seen this kit so many times before, and every time a unit drops with this kit, it's insane. And he's practically doing a margin Vegeta without the excess, but he's still probably going to do as much damage while being able to tank a lot as well. The buff cancellation, the endurance, the healing, the debuffing, as in he's going to be able to break combos effectively. The enemy can't combo for long when he's on the battlefield because cost increased. He's got the new mechanic, the switch attack, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage. There's a lot of benefits to having this guy, and him being red, I know people would have liked him to be another element, especially with Frieza being the main foe in PvP, but he does deal with Ultra Super Vegeta and Super Saiyan Goku, who are very powerful units right now in PvP. So overall, this guy does feel like a must summon, and And I'm not even saying that just because you are a GT main or a Vegeta clan main. He's going to be one of those units that's very impossible to break through, but he's always going to be comboing you, doing a lot of damage to you. Very scary on the battlefield, especially because it's Vegeta. He's more on the popular end, so I can imagine it could be a case where everybody's using him every single game. So in my personal opinion, no matter what tag you use, if you get this guy, you'll be very pleased. But will I say everybody should chase this guy? Not necessarily. And my main reason for saying that is because in his kit, he has the green VB mechanic from the seams of it, where he can stop counter gauges. So it's very likely we will get a counter gauge in the near future. No guarantee, but it's very likely. So be wary because of that. I don't want you guys to pull your CC into this and something 10 times better drops next time, just like with Diamond campaign with Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. But this guy does look insane, and I would advise summoning for him. If you do like him, he will probably be worth it from the seams of reading his kit. Now, am I going to summon? I want to summon so bad, but my luck with Vegeta units is down the drain. I've never gotten good summons when it comes to summoning on a Vegeta unit. So for me, I am going to summon, but down the line, you know, I don't know if it's gonna be during this release. It might be on the last day of the banner, but I'm not summoning day one. I'll just enjoy through other people. I'll fight him, I'll watch videos, I'll be chilling. I know it's such a shame, but when you're free to play, you can't just pull on everything. And I need to see what they potentially could release next, because that segment of him not being able to be stopped by gauges is very interesting. So if they drop an LL, I'd rather take my chances on an LL, I'm not gonna lie. But it's not that I don't want Vegeta. This Vegeta looks so good. I just can't afford to take an L with my free to play CC. So I'm gonna take it slow, gonna give it a few days, maybe a whole week, and see what people are saying about him, see if he's really that, and on top of that, if they drop anything else that could be of value without me having to summon. But yeah, man, that's going to be the end of the video. Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta looks super good, and you doubters, I know you're switching up right now. His kit is amazing. You might say his animations are bland, but he got a new mechanic and half the anniversary units didn't. Plus his ink art, everything's just going well for him. There's no L's here, honestly. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is ZAKASHI, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.